All right. So, like I had said before, yeah, the bot's pretty amazing. Um, I had a few ideas in mind and uh intrigue. Are you not muted? Okay. Um, so I think I'm gonna go today with something that's maybe more in the storytelling realm. So again, something that when I started with Hypno, or if you've heard any of my sessions before, that I kind of like to think about or play around with is these sort of moments that happen in everyday life. So, things that you see or experience that could even be simple, but for whatever reason, maybe in a given moment, a given time could be some become something a bit more profound. And so I've been thinking about different places that I've been as I kind of plan where I might want to go this summer for a vacation. And an idea that I thought of, something that I'd been to before, was this event, and it's called Waterfire. There's a river, and on this river, different pits with wood in each one. And someone on a boat goes from pit to pit and just lights these bonfires. So as the night continues on, as it's becoming darker and darker, the fires become a bit larger, and eventually, as it's fully darkened in the sky, the fires are at the peak, roaring, crackling, and how I could just walk along the banks of this river, just noticing each pit of fire, how, although they were all similar in many ways, each one, the pattern of the fire was slightly different, and how the lights from all the city buildings reflected against the rippling water, and also how the flames were reflected in the water, and how it almost looked like the water itself was on fire. And so, as these bonfires caused ripples around each of them, it seemed like not only was the reflection moving in the same pattern of the flames, but also slightly different as the ripples went through them. And so, as I walked, just quietly enjoying, I noticed that at some point I had stopped walking and was just quiet, calm, staring, just wanting to notice every single detail of that moment, how the lights from the buildings, the signs, were reflected in the water, how the flames reflected against the river, how the water itself seemed dark yet glowing, alive. Just being able to be lost in the movement of the flames, noticing how, as the air moved, they became larger, smaller, sharper, more blurred. How the sound of the crowds of people all around me, their movement disappeared. How the only thing I could do, the only thing I wanted to do, was just look, Just watch the flame. Just listen to the distant crackling of the wood. Just watching as a boat glides through the water, a torch continuing down the river to light each of the bonfire pits floating. How maybe as I watched them floating, drifting, moving along the river, I felt myself, my mind, just floating, drifting, being carried along by what I was seeing, hearing, experiencing. And how things can so naturally just switch from being aware of everything to being so focused on maybe just one or two things. How this can happen without even noticing, without even realizing when that transition took place. How maybe even now it's hard for you to remember, hard for you to realize when this went from just listening, just hearing a conversation, to yourself feeling a bit more carried along. Noticing those parallels then, the things that I've noticed, the similarities between things that happen in real life that leave you just a little bit dazed, and the things that could happen even in the retelling of those events that I can now leave you a little bit dazed. How I can take the things I've seen, the experiences, the things that I felt, moments where everything around me felt frozen, moments when I became hyper focused on something, where I started having many thoughts and then realized I was only having a single thought, the thought of just what took place in that moment. How, when I'm talking right now, it's what I want you to feel. Wanting you to be caught up in what's taking place in just this moment. Caught up in listening, caught up in the visuals that might be dancing through your mind. Maybe now in your own head you have thoughts of a fire crackling, roaring, its reflection against the water sparkling. How you can so clearly imagine, see, visualize those colors, how the red, the orange, the blue, the white just blend, blur together. How at some points when the air was more still, each flame was so crisp, the outline of the colors so well defined, the edges clean, clear, and then there might be a slight breeze causing the water to ripple, causing the flame, the colors to blur together, how it was more and more difficult to keep my focus on any one point, how you might find that you need a reminder to keep your focus right now on just one point. But again, just how natural, how easy that is for it to happen. That was something so simple, something as simple as a flame, as simple as water, could become so transfixing. And how nice it is to be able to have that time where you're fully immersed in a moment, where everything outside of that moment, all the thoughts unrelated to that moment, can just completely fade. How there's no reason, nothing to do that would require you to think about something else, do something else. How you can just have your eyes closed, mind open, thoughts swirling until blank. Have yourself so focused on my words, maybe even noticing how, just like the fire The pitch, the cadence, the loudness, the softness, the speed of my voice changes, moves. And then I can almost sync up with that flame, becoming all encompassing, so easy for you to just keep listening, keep drifting, keep going further, deeper, pulled even closer into that moment. Pulled into the moment, the experience that I'm wanting you to have. Pulled into thinking the thoughts that I'm giving you. All your other thoughts right now being so much less important. How maybe you feel that need, that desire to keep listening, not wanting to hear anything else, just letting yourself be pulled in, going deeper. And I'm sure by now it is what you want. And so, if it's what I want to happen, and it's what you want to happen, it makes it so much more easy, more likely that it will happen. And again, not needing to really think about how we got to this point, how things move from one moment to the next, each moment standing in singularity, allowing you to fully experience, enjoy everything that you are feeling. You might be feeling relaxed, calm, quiet, blank, mindless. Or maybe you can feel the coolness of the air against your skin. Maybe you could feel the warm glow of the fire warming your face, making your cheeks nice and flushed and pink. Maybe you feel heavy, unable to move. Maybe you feel light, floaty, drifty. How words can invoke all of these feelings, any one of them, all of them shifting, just like the movement of the flames, how your mind has the ability to go back and forth, the edges of those sensations blurring into each other at certain points, sharper at other ones. Or sometimes it's easy to be aware of what you're experiencing, and sometimes all you want to do is experience and not even need to think or notice anything in particular, and how all of that's fine. How, again, just like the experiences in my life where I felt more fascinated, I know that each of you can feel fascinated in your own way, in whatever way that feels right for you in the given moment. And so it makes it easier for your mind to be more open, to just let that happen, to let yourself drift even further, fall even deeper. Right now, no need to do anything else. Just listen. Listen as I tell you again. I want you to bring that image of a fire reflecting on the water to your mind. Listen as I tell you. I want you to think about just one point, to pull your focus to just one color, to try to notice as I talk how, while you're observing that singular point, it's difficult to keep track, difficult to remember where that point stops, where your color begins and ends, and how the other colors invade that space, how everything can just blur, blend, mix, how at some point you don't even want to keep track of that single point, just letting everything become blurry, hazy, fading. Just letting that image stay as strong in your mind as you'd like, or letting go of it completely as you just listen. How I can use my words just to melt your thoughts a little bit, how the warmth of the fire can help assist. And just letting all your thoughts melt, how that heat can then evaporate all those melted particles, and then the water mixing, letting them rain down, wet, dripping, flowing, until all of the thoughts in your mind can just be gone. How really right now the only thing that you need is to have my voice filling your head, having my words smooth over and wash away any residual thought. How nice, how good, how pleasurable that feels to just let that happen, doesn't it? How again, it's so natural of a progression to just go from listening, thinking, to being transfixed, caught up in that spell of my words, weaving a web that you can just be tangled in, to just feeling blank, mindless, safe, secure, comfortable, happy. All of those positive feelings that you can have by just letting go and listening. How, as you just think less, you can feel more. And how it is nice to be able to let go for a little bit, to have someone else do the talking, do the thinking while you just relax. How it is nice, is important, is enjoyable, pleasurable for your mind to have that space, that time to just be open, letting my words in as your own thoughts just fall away. How nice it is to be taken deeper, further, just letting yourself safely fall, feeling yourself moment by moment, word by word, syllable by syllable, sound by sound, just drop all the way down. And how I am pleased when you listen, when you fall, when you go further, deeper, when my words just continue to impact you more and more, when you just continue to be more open, letting that happen, letting it fully engulf and envelop you in that sense of positive, pleasurable relaxation. How I can use my words to shape this experience for you. How all of you together, connected, all of us sharing in that experience. How you can feel the energy around you change, feel the energy of everyone else as they just fall, and how that just pulls you even deeper. All of you then just quietly, calmly, being in sync, pulled down even further together. Again, how easy, how natural that is, how we are all able to impact and influence each other. And so it only would make sense then that as my words impact each of you, your energy impacts each other, and how then this experience that I started, that I created, is then also impacted by each of you. How your energy then in turn impacts how I'm thinking, feeling, and then what I'm saying. How this experience itself is just as alive, feels just as real as it did standing in front of the fire, watching it reflect, shimmer, sparkle against the water, the ripples. How each of our energies, just like each of those fires floating on the river, all together, yet separate, similar, different, just floating along. Each of you, your energy rising, falling, changing shape, sharper, more blurry, just leaving its own reflection on the surface, something that could be almost tangible. How good it feels right now to just experience that for your mind, your body, to be open, relaxed, and to just enjoy the experience. Enjoy how it feels to be completely captivated, caught up in a moment, with no need to worry, think about anything else, no need to do anything at all. You didn't have to do anything to get here. And how, as this experience ends, you won't have to do anything to remember the thoughts, feelings that you've had during this, that now, since I've taken my words, put those words, put that experience in your mind, left my thoughts there. Even as your thoughts continue to come back, you know that these words, this time that you've spent listening, exists in your mind, and so you'll be able to recall it, bring back any of the feelings that you've had with you. And so then, thinking about how as the night goes on, the fires burning for so many hours become smaller, starting to fade, how their effect then minimizes. How in that experience then my thoughts started to come back clearly, comfortably, one at a time, and how right now your thoughts can start to come back clearly, comfortably, one at a time. Taking a deep breath, becoming more aware of your surroundings, more aware of the environment around you, more aware of how you're feeling in this exact moment. Stretching just a little bit, and then finding that at one, more thoughts, two, thoughts organized, three, body aware of your surroundings, four, all thoughts coming back clear, organized, and then at five, completely awake and alert now. And how's everybody?